So as a first hands-on video for the Elasticsearch series, I will first install and configure Elasticsearch. Then on the second one we will do Kibana, and in the third one we will gonna do Logstash, and eventually we will also do bits to see how it looks for you. Let's go to Elasticsearch and let's go for download, and we will gonna do RPM. And actually I'm gonna stop the download right here and copy the link address. Then we will gonna go to our CLI on the server. Let's see where we are. Okay, we are on the root. It doesn't really matter, so let's just do a web get and then the URL to download the RPM package. And right now I'm gonna check the sum. So let me do this. SHA, copy link address. Get this one as well, just to make sure that the file is authentic when we're gonna do the comparison. Okay, right now we will list all the files that we have here. So we have the SHA one and the RPM package. Okay, so right now we will just compare this SHA sum minus a 512 as we have in here. You can see it. Then we will do a C and Elasticsearch, this one. Okay, so the RPM package is authentic and is ready to install. Yeah. To install it, we will gonna do an RPM, then install Elasticsearch. And as you can see here, it will do automatically the commands for you, like daemon reload and enable the Elasticsearch version and also start it. So we can check the Elasticsearch service to see if it's running fine. Status Elasticsearch service, and it's inactive. TL. Okay, you know what? Let's. Oh, there is actually one little problem. I haven't installed Java yet. You need to install Java. So you need Java 1.8 or later. So I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna install Java. So they are telling us to do it with DNF. Okay, so DNF install and then this Java right here. Okay, so it looks like for the new packages they started to use DNF as the package manager for the new CentOS. Okay, so we are gonna do yes. Okay. I'm curious what kind of version of CentOS we have here. So cat, etc, and then Red Hat release. Oh, okay, so we have the version 8. Okay, so previously we were running if you have seen my series for Greylog, we were running quite a lot CentOS 7. Apparently this one is 8. So we installed a much newer one, so that's okay. It looks like they switched to DNF instead of YAM as a package manager. Not too bad, I would say. So we have Java installed. Let's try to install Elasticsearch one more time. Yeah. Okay, it's already installed, but the services didn't started. Systemctl start Elasticsearch service. Let's see if it will gonna start or not. Oh well, it's hanging there. Let's open another session to this server. Okay, so it's activating, but it doesn't look to be active. Yeah. Okay. Not a big issue. Okay, so right now it should be active. Let's try to see it one more time. Yeah, it's active and running. So you don't need to do too much to start your Elasticsearch service. Now that we have installed it, we will need to configure some things in here. For the, we will use nano, etc, Elasticsearch YAML, and in the YAML file we have the cluster name, which is not configured. So cluster name is my application. Let's name it elk, for the sake of good old times when it was Elasticsearch logstash and Kibana. Then we were gonna do the name of the node. Okay, let's do the no name 1. We don't really need to change anything. Okay, right now we have the path for the data and for the logs. To be honest with you, I don't want to change anything right now for this demo environment, but if you're in a production environment, you should change these destinations to another one, due to the fact that when you're gonna update the Elasticsearch to a newer release, your data might be lost. So you need to move it from the default one to something else. And once you're gonna move it to something else, like for example these folders, you should change the ownership to the Elasticsearch user, so the Elasticsearch application will be able to write in that folder. And if you are curious to see how I have done it in the past, I will put down below into the description some other videos that I have done for the Greylock series when I was installing Elasticsearch. It's very similar to this one, so please feel free to click down below and check those ones. And this is pretty much about it. We don't really need to change anything. Network host, we were gonna leave it to the default, which is localhost, and nothing else in here. Let's save it. And right now we will exit. Another thing that we will need to change would be the memory RAM or for the Java, and we can find it in so let's do a nano etc and then Elasticsearch JVM options, hit enter, and here you, for example, if you have something like I don't know, 8 gigabytes, you shouldn't allocate more than 4 gigabytes for this one. I'm gonna leave it to the default because this is a test environment and I have on this machine only 4 gigs of RAM. So let's just leave it to 1 gig as it is. But please remember, if you're running in a production and you are having 8 gigs of RAM, 6 gigs, or 64 gigs of RAM, don't allocate more than 50% of your available RAM. However, Java has a heap size of maximum 32 gigs of RAM. So if you have memory on this machine of 100 gigs of RAM, even though you have a lot of RAM, you cannot allocate more than 32 gigs of RAM. And to play it safe, I would recommend you to configure 31 gigs for the RAM. So let's just exit this part in here. To start the Elasticsearch service, we have already started. You do it with, if you're on CentOS like me, and you're using systemd, systemctl, start Elasticsearch. Yeah, or for example, if you would like to check for the status, yeah, like this, or if you want to stop it, instead of start or status, you do a stop, or if you want to restart it, instead of start, stop, or status, you do a restart. Another way to see if your Elasticsearch service is running, you can do, for example, a netstat minus tool pn, yeah, and here we were gonna have all the services that are in the listening state for what kind of IP address, and we should see 9200. 9200 over here is for Elasticsearch, and as you can see, the service is called Java. Remember that Elasticsearch actually needs Java to run. And there are some other commands that you can use, like for example pes minus af EAF, sorry, and then we can grep for Elastic, and you can see it right here. Yeah. Okay. Another way to actually check the cluster status of your Elasticsearch cluster or service, you can do with the APIs. So you can do it with curl command, curl, and then minus x get. After that, we will do localhost colon 9200 / cluster / health question mark and then pretty to display it in a nice format. Let's hit enter, and you can see the name of our Elasticsearch cluster. It's called Elasticsearch, yeah. Then we have green, false, nodes, and so on. But because we have configured already a name for our Elasticsearch cluster, the default one is Elasticsearch. We called it elk. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna restart the service. Okay, let's see if the change took effect, and it did. You can see that the cluster name is elk, and previously it was Elasticsearch. Yeah, I can show you another command which I find it useful. Is that to check the status, you can do stats, then question mark, and then human, and pretty, and pretty again, and hit enter. Yeah. Actually, that is not very pretty. Okay, let's just do only one time pretty and get rid of the human. Okay, right now it looks much better. Yeah, so the command that you need to do is this one right here. Yeah, so if you're doing this command, it will gonna show you in a much nicer manner. In here you can see the mostly almost the same information, but more details. Here we also have the cluster ID and so on. Previously we didn't have the cluster ID, timestamp, and so on. You get idea. Available processors, allocated processors, etc. This command is actually good for troubleshooting in case if you have any issues. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, share it, and talk to you guys in the next one.